Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Owen Mance, and this is month 2 of becoming an Amazon bestselling author in our 12-month series. If you're serious about becoming a bestselling author, month 2 is crucial. It's time to establish your digital presence with a professional author website, a cohesive brand, and a strong social media strategy. If you think I've given you enough tools and information to make it worth your time, consider subscribing. Let's dive right in. Your author website is your online home, a place readers, publishers, and collaborators can visit to learn about you and your books. It's like your virtual business card, only better. Here's what your author website needs: an about page where you can share your story and what inspires your writing. Your books include a cover image, descriptions, and links to purchase. You need a blog or an update section where you post updates, short stories, poems, behind the scenes content, or other writing tips. A contact form to make it easy for readers or media to reach you, and an email sign up where you can build your mailing list for long-term engagement. Tools like Wix, Squarespace, or WordPress make it simple to create a professional site, even if you're not a tech whiz. And if you have the budget, hiring a pro to make it really shine might make sense. All right, let's just jump right into a screen share, and just like last month, I'll have all of these helpful links at the bottom of the description. Today we're going to focus on building your author brand by creating a personal website, developing consistent branding, and then outlining content pillars for ongoing engagement. We're going to set up and optimize our social media presence as well. 4 helpful links. We'll start with the website and go from there. So setting up your website is going to be, it should be a pretty easy process, right? You can choose Wix, you can choose WordPress, you can choose a million different things. Obviously, some website platforms will be more optimized towards or more suited towards one thing than another, right? So if you're an author trying to publish a book, you're probably not going to use things like Shopify, right? Because that's more geared towards e-commerce and products. We're going to go ahead with Wix and WordPress though. Now, my site, if we're going to take a look, is hosted on Wix. I still have a lot of optimization to do, but it's already set up and optimized to some extent. So the first thing you want to have on your website when people go on your website to click is going to be your name or your brand. If your brand is not going to be your name, your brand logo should be the first thing people see. That's the thing that your brand is built upon and what people are looking for when they try to search for you. So I've got my name here right in bold. I've got author of Eyes of Glass, so that's one book I've already published, right? So if you already have some sort of credibility, you want to have that right, either right above, right below, close to your name, so that people see, oh, you've already published something, right? And then go check that out. If you haven't published anything, that's totally fine. Obviously, don't lie and put something on there, but that's what you want to do. So I've got my name in bold, big letters. I've got my little credibility blurb, author Eyes of Glass. And then you want to have a CTA. It's called a call to action. I've got 2 on my website because I'm directing people to 2 different things. Your call to action should either be shop my books. If you've already published something, you want to direct them to your books, right? So I've got my shop books link, call to action. You want to link it to maybe short stories or poems you published, or maybe you want to link it to if you're already present on some platform. For example, if you have a YouTube site, you do maybe stand-up poetry, right? If you present slam poetry, you want to have a link that links people, that guides them directly to that site so they can see more of your work. The point of a call to action, a CTA button right by the top of your website, is to show people either things you've done, things people can buy from you, or kind of more of a credibility piece, right? So I've got shop books and I have shop merch. So I have 2 call to actions, two buttons that lead people to different sections of my brand. Now that's the first thing. This is when people jump on your website initially, you want this to be super concise, right? Some people have their name and then you scroll down for the buttons. I would suggest from a marketing standpoint, you want to have your brand and then the button right below it so people don't even have to scroll. So that's the top part, and it's called a landing page. That's where people initially come on. Now, next, right, you can have your book. If you've already published something, you can have something like this where you have your title, a short blurb, and then buy now, right? This obviously links people to the Amazon page where people can buy it directly. I've got a book mock-up here. That's what the book looks like. If you scroll down, there's more of a credibility piece. So I've got a quote, right, a review on the book. I made a little trailer when I published the book initially, so I've got the trailer linked right here. Right, and more reviews around it, and then obviously my merch. If you don't have merch, that's totally fine. You don't need to, right? But that's where you can find that piece down there. Now, below this piece should honestly be much higher on the landing page. So if you consistently write short stories or poems, you want to have that linked or easily accessible to your audience, to the people that jump on the website. And then I've got a couple short stories here, and then about the author section. You always want to have this either at the end or way at the beginning, right? So a layout, and I'll include this in the description too, a layout of a basic website. You've got your brand, a CTA, and then, you know, what it's about, what your website is about, who are you, and then a couple reviews and testimonials and all of that. And then you can put in your blog as well. And then obviously link to social media sites as well, so that people can find you on other platforms. This last part is super important too. So you want to have an email lead gen box, right, or an email form where people can put in their emails, email addresses, so that you have them on their list and you send them maybe a short story, right? What I do is I give them a short story poem delivered right to their inbox every month. So you sign up with your email, and then you get a free short story from me every month. What you can also do is maybe like a writing tip every month, or something that's recurring that'll keep them engaged, so that when you launch your book, you've already built up an email list, all right, of people that are actually interested in your work, of people that are already receiving and opening up your emails, so that when you mention that you're launching a book in those emails, people are interested because they've given you their email for that specific purpose, right? And that's really the basic layout of a website. Now that's really all you need, right? So you've got your brand, your name, you've got a CTA. I would put maybe like your blog right here, or about the author section right here. I'll actually bump that up too. And then a couple reviews and testimonials. Now, here are 4 tabs you can have. Obviously you can be flexible, right? But here are 4 tabs that I like to have on my website. So I've got the home tab, just what you just saw. I've got a books tab where you can dive into other books that you've published or are coming out, right? If you're already published. If you're not published, you're obviously not going to have a book section, right? And then you've got your email lead gen form at the bottom again. Now, another thing I suggest is having a blog. I'm telling you, it's not a suggestion. I'm telling you to have a blog. This is so vital and so important, because this is what's going to draw in people to give their email, right? This is the content that you can provide to people absolutely for free, that gets them interested in your work, that gets them, you know, aware of how you write, what's your writing style, what do you write about, what do you talk about, what stories do you tell. And I know a couple authors that hate writing short stories, that hate writing poems, and what they can do instead, right, is putting in maybe a chapter every month of a new book they're working on. That's like a short story. Here's the next chapter in the series. But having a blog of some sort is vital for any author in this day and age. Include writing tips, maybe if you don't like writing short stories. Include writing tips. Include marketing tips. A chapter every day, right? I personally love writing short stories. I love writing poems, so that's what I include in here, right? And so I've got a couple different tabs here too. I've got my short stories tab, so that links people to, right? It'll show all the short stories that I've got. I've got a poems tab, all the poems I've written, writing help, and essays as well, like literary reviews. And then again, email lead gen. Have that on every page, just for easy access, right? You never know when people sign up. When they make that conscious decision to sign up for your email, right? Now, the last tab I've got is my YouTube page, just because I publish videos regularly, and I am on YouTube probably more often than any other social media. So I've got a what's new, right? Watch on YouTube. You can find me there. Again, it's linked. I've got one of my videos linked here, and then my 12 months to Bestselling Author series will be down below. I'm super excited about this, so I'm going to be updating this every month, getting the next video up here. It says coming soon right now. Once this video is up, you'll be able to see it on my website too. But keep that updated. Keep your website up to date. A lot of the times what authors do is they create it and then forget about it. And that's something you should always be updating, right? If you have new information you want to put on there, people don't like old information and they're not going to trust old sources. So it's important to keep that up to date. Now I want to jump directly into the Wix Studio and show you what that's like. So here we are in the Wix Studio, right? I've got a couple analytics, admin stuff, stuff to get started. What I like about Wix is, one, it's super intuitive. I used to host my website on WordPress. Awesome. And WordPress is awesome, and there's a lot more you can do with it, but I feel like personally it's less intuitive. Now I'm not sponsored by Wix or anything, right? But that's been my personal experience. Now your home tab is going to be just a brief overview of all the analytics, right? Another tab I like to go to is site and mobile app, and then website and SEO, and then go to the SEO section. SEO simply stands for search engine optimization. It's how you are ranked in Google search engine, right? You can go through an SEO checklist. See, I've got not 100% yet, still working on that, but it tells you kind of step by step what to go through. Now, if you don't know what some of those things are, you can always look it up, but it's a short checklist about your images and headers and stuff like that. So for example, let's go in here. It says add alt text to all images on the home page. The alt text is the text that the search engine sees when they see an image. They don't see, obviously, a picture. They see words, which is in the alt text. Another tab I like to go to is the marketing tab and then the analytics tab. Just some, more real-time reports and insights about the website and how you're doing, and then the blog section as well. This is where you update your posts, your short stories, your writing tips, your chapters, and all of that. So that's on the Wix Studio. If you actually jump in to the website itself and start editing the website, you can go to home and then here edit site, and this is where you go behind the scenes to start editing the layout and visual aspect of your website. So jumping in real quick, this is what it looks like, right? You can edit all of these components and change the font, change everything, right? The title, your brand right here should be H1, header 1, and then every subsequent header should be obviously subsequent to that. So this is going to be H2, right? Per section, it's going to be normal text, H3. This is H3 right here, and so on, right? H2 again, because we're jumping to a new section, and so on. Play around with this, edit it. Wix has a ton of different features, right? Where you can add sections, elements, pre-done, wireframes and all of that. So if you go over here to sections real quick, you've got, welcome section, about, services, all of that. So play around with that, check it out, see what you like. Definitely look at the template I'm going to link in the description about what should be in your website and what the layout should be on that. Now, real quick, your domain you can buy at namecheap.com. They've got a domain, for $12 a year, which is incredible. There's other places to buy domains from as well. Namecheap is one of the cheapest ones that are actually reliable, which is what I've found. And you can easily integrate that into Wix, WordPress, and all of those platforms as well. Now, the last thing I want to show you with website, in regard to website, is the complete website audit checklist. Now, this is a so comprehensive checklist into auditing your website. It's got several different tabs, so it's a master checklist tab. You can also do a light site audit, again, search engine optimization audit, technical SEO audit, design, and there's so much more. Master checklist right here, real quick. Make sure the keyword in the title is your keyword is who are you targeting? Are you a thriller author? Is that in the title in your H1? The meta title is optimized, so what search engines, what is actually shown or displayed on Google. The meta description, same thing. Is the page organized? You have H1, H2, H3, bullets, lists, etc. Is the keyword in the H2s? Do you have images to break up the text? Does it have broken links? Do you link to other sites? Do those work? And so on. So you can go through this. It's a really comprehensive checklist of everything you could possibly need in a website. So go through this, make sure your website looks good. Honestly, the bottom line is, starting out, you don't need to rank number 1 in Google, right? You just need a website that looks clean and professional, because that will get you started in the right place. Your brand is more than your logo. It's how people feel when they hear your name or see your content. Start by answering these questions. What's your unique voice as an author? Who's your target audience? What emotions or themes define your books? And then choose consistent colors, fonts, and a tone of voice for everything you do. From your website to social media posts, everything should stay consistent. Tools like Canva are fantastic for creating branded graphics. Now, moving over to building your brand. Building your brand is so vital to who you present yourself as. Now, if you take a look at the link in the description, I've got I think 96-page ebook on building your brand. I linked it, and it's completely free for you. I just posted it. It'll be in a PDF format. Take a look at it. So I wrote this: building a personal brand with impactful marketing and coaching. Take a look at the table of contents, right? So understanding personal branding, the foundations of impactful marketing, crafting your unique value proposition, copywriting. So it's not just author specific. It's just business in general. And it's all about building your personal brand strategy to get your voice, get your brand out there. So take a look at that. Let's see, was I right in the 96 pages? It won't tell me. I think it's 96 pages. Check it out and see if it is. Let me know in the comments. But that's free for you. Take advantage of that ebook. The other thing I've got for you is Canva. So when you build your personal brand, here's what you want to think of, right? As an author, what is your genre that you write in? For me, I write in the thriller genre. I write in the horror genre. So that's kind of what I gravitate towards, right? If I'm a thriller writer, my brand, my author logo, my design shouldn't have sparkles in it or bright colors, because it doesn't make sense for thriller. If you're a romance writer, why wouldn't you have red or pink in your brand? If you're writing nonfiction, right, don't have something with fiction elements. Don't have like a firefly or like a Tinkerbell in your logo. Find something that fits your voice, that fits your brand, that also matches the energy of the genre you write in. So vital that people often overlook, right? Your brand should demonstrate exactly who you are as an author. So if we come down here, right, Canva, if you haven't used Canva, you're somewhere else, but Canva is amazing for all different types of design. I use this for a bunch of different things, right? From mock-ups to book cover designs to logo designs. I've used it for a lot of things, but you can come over here to the design tab and just search through some of the logos they have, right? So they've got a cursive element here. They've got circles, right? They've got some of the images. Now there's a pro version. If you really get into this, it might make sense. For me personally, I found the free is just good, just fine. But take a look at some of these, right? If you're a nonfiction author, you're not gonna have a wolf as your logo. So find something that fits to your specific brand. Look at branding elements. Like for example, do you want a serif or a sans serif font? Are your letters going to be bold? Are they going to be italicized? Are they going to be cursive or regular text? You've got to kind of find your groove. So for example, here as a thriller author, this pink shade doesn't really make sense. This is just kind of a simple, logo real quick, but I might, if I go over here to the design tab, I can type in thriller, or I might type in horror, and see what they come up with. So if I typed in horror, right, if I'm a horror author, I might do something like this, or with a skull, right, or with an eye, ghosts, right? These look kind of neat for a horror author. So I would recommend using Canva. Find something that suits you, and obviously match that to the rest of your branding. So designing your social media, you're going to have that font, right? If you're writing in Times New Roman, if your brand is in Times New Roman, have your website in Times New Roman. Don't do a Comic Sans font on your website. Stick with your theme. Be consistent. Consistency is key. Now, your colors too. You want to choose appropriate colors. Again, if you're a romance author, why wouldn't you choose red or pink or something like that? If you're a thriller author, probably gonna have black in it somewhere, right? Same with horror. Personally, I've got black and like a navy blue. If you're a fantasy author, right, you might have gold or green or like a lighter blue. So stick with those colors throughout your website, your brand, your social media. Stick with those throughout. Social media is how you connect with your readers and build anticipation for your book. You don't need to be everywhere, but you do need to be consistent. Here's how to get started. Pick 1 or 2 platforms where your readers hang out, like Instagram, X, Facebook, or TikTok. 2, share engaging content. Post about your writing process. Share book quotes or sneak peeks. And then number 3, engage with your audience. Reply to comments and messages. Be human on these platforms. Use tools like Buffer or Hootsuite to schedule posts so you can stay focused on writing. Now, the last thing I want to cover is social media. And social media is a beast. We could make another episode on this entirely, which I probably will, depending on how much interest there is in that. But you can go through here, and I've posted 2 different things for social media. I've got a social media cheat sheet, which it goes through basically how to set up your social media. So defining your author identity, right? Crafting a snappy bio. For example, writes twisted tales of love and lore, right? Do something that's creative and that's really specific to your particular genre. If you're a fantasy author, have it be fantasy related. Let people know. People should immediately know as soon as they hit your website, as soon as they go on your social media, as soon as they see your brand, people should know exactly what genre you write and what kind of realm you find yourself in. Are you in the fantasy realm, thriller, horror, romance, like sports romance? They should know exactly what genre you're writing in. You need to find your tone. You need to find your voice, right? Decide your vibe. Is it going to be quirky? Is it going to be funny, more lighthearted? Is it going to be profound and mysterious, right? And then kind of identify your niche and put keywords towards that. If you're a fantasy author, right? If you're a memoir author, and so on. The second thing, platforms and profiles. This is super important. You can't do everything in social media. Obviously you can, but starting out you shouldn't. You shouldn't do everything. And there's a reason for that, because if you do everything is going to be lower quality. Okay, you want to focus on 1 or 2 things and get those to the best platform that you can. In order to do that, you need to figure out where your target audience hangs out. For example, I know that as a thriller author, and I can just Google this real quick, thriller readers best social media platform. So we can take a look here, right? Romance and mystery thriller authors will also find an engaged audience on Facebook. YouTube has the most. Second largest is YouTube. So for thriller readers, the best social media platform right here is likely Facebook due to its larger user base and ability to engage and communicate, blah, 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 right? So you need to discover where your readers hang out in. If you're a thriller author, it might make sense to jump in on Facebook, right? Go all in on Facebook, set up your social media there. If you're more geared towards romance, right, you can look that up. Or, for example, fantasy. Where do fantasy readers hang out? Right, Facebook is going to be the older crowd. Instagram and Threads are going to be somewhere in the middle. So if you're a fantasy author, I might go for Instagram. I might go for TikTok, right? So you need to discover where your readers hang out. And then profile essentials. So have a good profile pic, right? Don't have a weird selfie that, where you look 10 years younger than you actually are. Have a good cover image and a bio link, right? Link to your website. Let people know where you hang out and where they can find you. And then create content that actually draws readers in, right? Have a Monday memoir section, Wednesday words, Friday fun, right? Give polls, book giveaways, sneak peeks, Share your short stories, share your writing tips, share your poems, share your chapters, post photos or videos, right? Writing desk vibes, book covers, or a day in the life. Share things that resonate with your readers and build engagement in that way. So that's kind of you can read through this as well, kind of steps to set up your social media. The other thing I've got for you is a social media audit template. So it's the same thing as the website audit template, just for social media. And it's just as comprehensive for all different types of social media. So from Instagram to Facebook to X to Pinterest, if you hang out there. Go ahead and make a copy of this, and then you can run through it, right? So you can put in your network, put in your handle, so you've got everything in one place. Is it verified or not? What's your mission statement? What are your key performance indicators? Are you looking for engagement rates? Are you looking for number of followers? Are you looking for number of likes? What are you kind of aiming towards with your social media? And then kind of what is your most best performing content, and so on. And you can do this for, again, all sorts of social medias, right? If you want to keep it separate, go ahead and do that. What's your number of posts? Again, key performance indicators. What are you looking for? And so on. So go ahead and take a look at that. Make a copy of that as well. I want to jump into Facebook real quick, for example, and show you kind of the layout of what you need in your social media. So you want a banner page just like that. Obviously, you can't have that in some of them, but create that using Canva, right? Look at the dimensions and see what dimensions need to fill that space. You want to have a picture of you in it, and then a picture of a couple books if you're already been published. You want your name to be right there, and then your website, super visible, so that people, they just need to look at it and they'll know where to find you, right? And then I've got here, it's covered by the editing page, which you obviously can't see regularly, but it says psychological thriller author. So kind of your genre that you go for, right? For the intro, you want to have something short, something sweet. So I've got author of Eyes of Glass, writer, poet, entrepreneur, right? Kind of figure out what vibe you're going with, have a short statement, short, intro to you. And then obviously make sure everything's as complete as possible. If something's not, filled out, it's going to be incomplete. It's not going to be as optimized as it can be. Again, have, your websites on here and all that. And then post regularly. Just have a couple updates, post articles, things like that. Bunch of happy birthdays, right? Got a short TikTok, post it on there as well. So keep it up to date. Stay consistent. So if you post, once a day, if you post 3 times a week, the number of times matters less than how consistent you are with uploading it. If you're gonna post 3 times a week, post 3 times a week at the exact same days at the exact same times, because that's what the algorithm likes. If you post every day, post at the exact same times, right? I will say, if you posting in the morning is usually better than posting at night. So try to post between maybe 8 or 10 o'clock in the morning. If you're gonna post, in the morning, then make sure to post everywhere. Don't post on Instagram in the morning and then Facebook in the evening. Post in the morning for all platforms. That'll get you the best engagement rates as well. With that being said, again, I've got all of the links up here, and I'll add one more for the outline for the website, and those are all posted in the description. So take a look at those and let me know if I should go into more depth with one thing over the other. And that's all I've got for you today.
Becoming a best-selling author isn't just about writing. It's about connecting with your readers. Your website, brand, and social media are the tools that make that possible. Subscribe for month 3, where we'll dive into marketing strategies to build your launch team. Until then, keep writing, and I'll see you next time.